Hello, my loves. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Dustina. This is Spiritually Boujee Astrology, and we're going to take a look at the astrological transits of May 27th to June 2nd. Now, before we do any type of recap or look ahead, just a quick little reminder. I announced this during the full moon in Sagittarius video. If you are an existing client of mine, existing people, we have had sessions before. I am running a BOGO special in honor of Gemini season. Why? Because I'm a Gemini and I like Gemini season because it's my season. So if you book an hour-long session with me, you get a coupon or a gift certificate that you can either keep for yourself or give to another person. 90-minute session, same thing, but this is specific to my existing clients. Why is that? Because if you're coming to me for your first session, you don't pay full price. And that's an automatic thing for everybody. Your very first session with me, if you do a 60-minute session, is $35. If you do a 90-minute session, that is $50. Those are both heavily discounted. And I'm not going to do a gift on top of a gift. So new clients, you get special pricing already. If you're an existing client, there is a BOGO for you. There's going to be more information in the description. And of course, I've sent some emails out, and then you can always message me and we can talk about it individually. So reminding everybody about the special this month for Gemini season, that is for existing clients. Now, let's talk about this last week. Let's talk about what happened in that full moon in Sagittarius. For a lot of people, something was meant to come together. A connection, an opportunity, a meeting, a commitment. That as soon as it was coming together, as soon as a dot was connected, we immediately took that to the next level. It went somewhere else. It led into the next chapter, another thing, a new arena, again, a new opportunity. It just came down to the commitment. It just came down to the connection. And that's been different for everybody. And for a lot of people, what did happen in that full moon was a little bit of triggering. And I warned that that would be the case because that full moon was in a sextile. The moon itself was in a sextile to Pluto. The sun had just perfected a trine to Pluto. And there was something that was meant to be healing in this energy. There was something that was meant to show us hope in darkness, a way to move out of darkness, a way to move away from abuse, away from the trauma, away from a power struggle where we have not had all of our personal power, where we had not had all of our independence, how we get out of the funk. Did it all happen in one day? No. In fact, for a lot of people, it took the rest of the week. And some people didn't get the idea of a solution. They didn't get that connection of an idea as to how to move forward until Venus also made her trine to Pluto. Now, in that Sagittarius full moon, Venus and Jupiter were in a conjunction. That conjunction was in a sextile to Neptune. That's a different conversation, but I'm reminding everybody it was in a sextile to Neptune. And there was a lot of divine timing, timely things coming together, timely things being realized, epiphanies coming through, those bright ideas of why didn't I think of this sooner? How come I couldn't have thought of this sooner? Why did I have to be triggered to find the solution? Why do I have to face my abuser to finally be able to heal? Why do I have to reopen the wound? Because sometimes to make the bone heal properly, you have to re-break it. There was a little bit of re-breaking this week. That re-breaking was so that way we could do a full reset. And an idea, a solution, something came through. And for many people, that was over the course of the weekend. And when that idea, when that solution, when that fix-all type of energy kind of lit up, that is when Jupiter moved into Gemini. We were meant to get some type of idea this last week. We were meant to see some type of solution. We were meant to see some type of way of how we can finally let go of something and move into this new direction, because we are meant to be in full steam ahead type of energy. We were meant to see something differently. There was a reason for the triggers. There was a reason for those deep-seated wounds. There was a reason for certain things to bubble up to the surface. But that bubbling didn't have to be terrible. It didn't have to be devastating. For many people, what came through with it was also clarity, ideas, and motivation. How we can continue. And now I want to put an emphasis on continue. When Venus entered Gemini following the perfection of that full moon, Venus also entered mutual reception with Mercury. They're in a house swap. Venus is redecorating, getting ready for Mercury to come home, doing a couple little things. But where is Mercury's house? Mercury, for some reason, in Venus's house, going, wow, a lot of things have changed. Wow, they did a lot of stuff while I was in retrograde. Okay. And the energy between the two is now speaking through with one another, speaking into each other's energies. And that's going to be important when we get to a transit that's going to happen later this week. This week is not the most impactful. There's not a lot of heavy transits to it. Again, a lot of what we're going to deal with is how we take serious accountability and serious motivated steps forward. How we continue from here. And the way many of us are going to continue is going to be really playing through that mutual reception. And I kind of hinted at this at the end of last week's episode. Last week had some level of divine timing. You were meeting the right people. You were going to the right places. You were having the right conversations. You were doing the necessary thing in that moment. So that way you can move into a direction. That direction is now to learn the lesson, teach the lesson, speak your truth, spread the word, depending on how that is meant for you. Now, whenever it comes to Venus and Gemini, she's everywhere and feeling everything and talking about all of the feelings, the things that give her happiness. But with Mercury in Venus's sign, whatever we are speaking, the truth, the reality, the plans, the ideas, that truth is not always a fun truth, because we did have triggers. So sometimes that truth can be about the abuse and the trauma. But whatever is being spoken about speaks volumes. There is a frequency change in the acknowledgement that will come through this week. The idea, the path, the guidance will speak volumes this week. And as we continue every day this week, the noise is going to get a little bit louder. And we're starting to see a direction of how a visual change is going to happen, having something that will soon be getting revealed. So as we are going to do the revealing, something is going to be revealed around us. And by the end of the week, some people might see the revealing. Some. Look at this thing that I did. Look at what I've been up to. Look at what I built. Look at what I painted. Look at the new furniture. Look at this new thing. Look at what I've changed. Look at my new body. See the aftermath. See the results. See the effect. There's an effect coming through. And seeing the effect seeing the writing on the wall, seeing the potential, seeing the capability is a part of the frequency change. It is what is getting louder in the volume. There is something that we are changing. For some of us, that change is healing, because that Sagittarius full moon with that Venus Jupiter conjunction, healing. For some people, that change was a change in our commitments. And I said that full moon for a lot of people was both a beginning and an ending simultaneously. For some people, it's literally the beginning of the end of that final round of the final cycle. Something was meant to come to a closeout. For some people, that closeout was overcoming fear. For some of us, the closeout was having to do with how we, again, move forward past the abuse and past the trauma, past those power struggles, and past where fear has held us back. For some of us, whatever we are moving forward with required some type of change or transformation. And as much as you can see how much somebody has changed, how much their true colors have been revealed, how much a dynamic has altered, you know you can't be a part of that anymore. Forward progression. And as we go into the month of June, that forward progression will allow more sun on the skin. It will warm those tones. It will warm certain things inside of us. And as we start to find the ability to speak our truth, speak the lessons, speak about what has happened to us, again, the frequency changes. And every time you let something off of your chest, you are allowing something to heal. Every time you talk about that event, you are allowing that truth to speak the volumes necessary to overcome the trauma, to overcome the past. Some of you, the truth is going to come out because you are going to make additional connections this week. And that too speaks to things that are going to happen later in the week. I think the first part of the week is going to be slow for a lot of people. And given that here in the States, we're in a holiday, that's going to make a lot of sense. But once we get past Wednesday, not so much. And I don't mean that in the negative sense. I just mean in like it's going to get busier. But Monday and Tuesday, no. It's a carryover still as we dwindle down from that full moon. It's a carryover as to what is going to get rebirthed later on. And there is a bit of a rebirthing that's going to come through in the first 2 weeks of June, but not so much in like the first 2 days. And we end this week on June 2nd. So that's why I'm saying like the first 2 weeks will have some level of rebirthing. It will have something coming to light. It will have something getting showcased in some way. And whatever is being showcased, whatever is coming to light, whatever is being reborn, whatever is finally getting released and relieved, it is a big part of the change that we've been riding the waves of for months now. And again, so much of where we're going is going to be about full steam ahead energy. So let's get into the transits. Let's get into Monday morning. Monday, May 27th. I've got this bright and early. I meant to have this at 4:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. So between 4:30 and 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, we have the moon in a trine to Uranus. So you can see right here, moon 23 degrees, 34 minutes. Here is Uranus, 23 degrees, 54 minutes. We're right at the start of like that 2-hour time span. Are we all getting a phone call at 4:30 and 5:30 in the morning? No, not necessarily. Can you? Yes. Unexpected things, unexpected types of energy. And considering right at midnight, so on Sunday night, the moon was going through a square with Mars. That right there could lead to something happening or cause unexpectedly happening or a physical change, because this is earth to earth happening unexpectedly. And I'll give you a really great example of that right now. In Oklahoma, we had 7, 8 tornadoes last night. That's not a joke. So a lot of people aren't going to know the full effects of that. They're not going to be able to see the effects of like the unexpected shifts and change until they get home to see what happened to their house. So again, there is a little bit of an element of expect the unexpected. Whatever that unexpected is has a physical vibe to it. Some of you might have some type of arrival unexpectedly, and it might not all perfect right here. Just to be clear, the human effect is it could be just like that first thing in the morning. Unexpected communication, unexpected words, unexpected arrivals, unexpected run-ins can happen Monday morning. Again, the most exact between 4:30 and 6:30 in the morning, but the human effect is it is a holiday here in the States. So some people just might be getting woken up by unexpected messages after they're drinking their coffee. There's that. Okay. Okay, we're going to get into the afternoon. And you know those days where you feel something about to happen before it happens, and it's like that weird feeling of like, I'm kind of in a deja vu mode. I kind of want to know what this is going to be like. I kind of feel like I've been here before. I kind of feel like somebody's going to call me. It's just like this weird confusion, familiarity. Some of us, we lean into that deja vu, like, oh, what was the rest of that dream? I dream things before they happen. So like I do that. And I'm totally playing devil's advocate here. Of like wanting to understand more or wanting to remember the rest of the dream or the rest of the vision or the rest of the part of that meditation. I feel like that's going to come through and then have an instant result. Like I feel like somebody's about to call, and then within an hour or two, you get the phone call. I feel like I'm about to go somewhere or somebody's going to show up. Like you just feel it right before it's happening. Here's why I'm saying that. Between 2 and 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, the moon in Capricorn is going to sextile Neptune. The moon is in Saturn's sign, so there is the seriousness. We might be talking about some type of inspiration, some type of woo-woo, something that we want to do. We feel like it's time to do something. And if you're feeling like it's time to do something, I really feel like it's going to be exactly that. We just feel this internal pull of motivation, that little rope pull of like, I think I'm going to go ahead and call. I think I'm going to go ahead and email that person. I think I'm going to go ahead and try to DM. I think I'm going to try this dating app. Think I'm going to do. I'm going to try. I'm going to attempt and see what happens. That could be another way this is coming through when the moon is in the sextile to Neptune. Now, the thing about this particular sextile is that I feel like we can get really quick results, given that at 3:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, the moon is going to go into Aquarius and immediately start its trine to Pluto. So I got this at 4:30. Here's the moon. Not Pluto, I'm sorry, not Pluto. It's trine to Jupiter. Jupiter is newly in Gemini. Now, let's be clear. Jupiter in Gemini, it's said to be in its detriment. I don't feel that way, like with what the work I've done with Jupiter in Gemini before. I don't feel that way per se. I kind of feel like Jupiter in Gemini is like Mercury in Sag. Like there's so much knowledge, it's going to be overwhelming. Like with Mercury and Sag, that there's so much to do, it's almost overwhelming. You can't always think clearly. I think that's where we get into. And there's going to be a lot of busyness in the air. There can be some very timely, hopeful conversations that we feel like it's time to do. It's time to say. It's time for this connection. The moon is now in Aquarius. Fixed air. There can be some stubbornness. We can be talking about what has changed while also what is the same. We can be feeling compelled up until a certain point to reach out. And then once we reach out, like there's a hook and there's promise and there's hopefulness. Now, the moon's trine to Jupiter, we feel this the most exact between 3:30 and 5:30 p.m. So you can see right here, I got this at 4:30. If you're really in that 3:30 to 4 o'clock time frame, you can be feeling both the sextile to Neptune and the trine to Jupiter simultaneously. And that can be a peak in confusion, a peak in anxiety if you're not anticipating it, if you don't know that it's coming. And that peak of anxiety is important given the way that the rest of the evening is going to go, because between 6 and 8:30 p.m., the moon's going to make a conjunction to Pluto. This is a holiday weekend that we're coming out of. The Monday is still a holiday here in the States. It's Memorial Day. And for some people, you're going to get to the end of the day and you're going to talk about either something that had happened earlier in the day, and it's going to confirm even more that this needs to be done, that we need to get over something. It's going to confirm a fear because it's still Pluto. Pluto's retrograde. And I feel like more people are going to be confirming the solution more so than the fear, but let's play devil's advocate in part of that. There's an awareness in this energy, but for a lot of people, I feel like you're going to go through parts of the day like feeling like I'm going to hear from somebody, feeling like something's about to happen, feeling like I think we missed a call. I think I need to reach out to this person. And then you finally reach out and it's like instant gratification, instant solution, instant answers once the moon hits the trine to Jupiter. And after we get those answers, it's like we faced a fear, we faced a trauma, we faced an event, we faced a situation. And again, that speaks more into that overcoming. For some people, there's going to be a connection of transformation, seeing how something has changed, acknowledging how many changes have come throughout the weekend since the full moon, like an acknowledgement of like how we can move forward from here, how something can be healed, how something can grow from here. And for some people with the moon's conjunction of Pluto, it is going to be the deeper conversations of what we must heal. It is going to be talking about those, again, that next round of conversations about where the abuse happened, where the trauma has been, where those afflictions have been. But for other people, there's going to be an acceptance of change, an acceptance of transformation, an acceptance of healing. You'll know where you're at. Doesn't have to be the worst thing in the world, but you'll know. Okay. Again, the moon's conjunction to Pluto, that's going to be done by 8:30 in the evening. And then after that, we're just kind of riding the energies. So there's not a whole lot going on throughout the rest of the day on Monday. We're going to get into the overnight hours of Tuesday. And the thing about the moon in Aquarius is that it's not just going to hit that trine with Jupiter, it's also going to trine Venus, and it's going to trine the sun. These two things are going to happen right after midnight. And then what's interesting is, like, technically speaking, nothing else is happening on Tuesday. So what I explain next is going to be either people are going to be having, again, late nights on Monday in their healing conversations, in those connections, in their heads, because it's air signs. Again, the frequency change, the tuning in of the different frequencies and the different noise levels. And if you're having a hard time sleeping now that it's Gemini season, it's because so much crap is in air signs. That's why. Okay. First things first, the moon is going to trine Venus between midnight and 2 a.m. So I got this at 12:30 on Tuesday. Here's the moon, 5 degrees. Here's Venus, 5 degrees. See the trine, one part of a triangle, a long-term idea, a long-term opinion, a long-term way of thinking that needs to change. The way something has been for a long time, moon in Aquarius, and Venus's solution, Venus's ideas, Venus's adaptation. And I do mean adaptation here. Venus is getting closer to her conjunction to the sun. This does not go exact this week. But as Venus is getting closer to the sun, we have something that is coming to light, more and more things that are getting debuted, more and more things that are getting revealed. And a lot of things that are going to get revealed are going to get talked about. Because again, we are either discussing the lessons, talking about the abuse, talking about where the change has been, and we're relieving ourselves of things that need to be released. Audibly released. Use your words, say it with your chest. Is this a negative sense? No, but we feel like we need to get these things off of our chest. The things have been sitting here for a long time. And as soon as we do that, we feel relief. And the moon's trine to Jupiter, the moon's trine to Venus, and even with the moon's trine to the sun, which happens right after the moon's trine with Venus, we're getting more and more release. We're using our words. The moon's trine to Venus. There's something about the visual. There's something about the aesthetic. There's something about the food. There's something about our pleasure that is getting voiced. I feel so much better now that we don't do it that way anymore. I feel so much better now that we're making this change. I love the way it looks. I love the way it makes me feel. Doesn't have to be heavy, but still say it with your chest. The moon will hit the trine to the sun. Now that goes the most exact between 4 and 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. I don't feel like everybody's having conversations in the middle of the night, but I do feel like as you wake up the next morning, more and more people can start to feel a bit more boost in their confidence, a bit more of an awareness, something mentally kind of clicking in, an adaptation in our mindset, an adaptation in something. And that internalized energy of adaptation can feel almost unexpected in some ways. Well, why did I let that bother me for so long? I shouldn't have ever let that bother me. I'm going to move forward. I want to feel better. I don't want to feel that way anymore. And those things can come through throughout the day on Tuesday. Now, after the sun's trine to the sun, with the moon's trine to the sun, I said it backwards. There are no more direct transits to Tuesday. All of the direct transits happen right after midnight and right before sunrise. So all in all, a lot of the energy can be, again, the spoken, the frequency, the conversations, the posts, the communication, the TikToks, the whatever you are using, and allowing things to come through. Beyond that, there's nothing direct happening. We have things that are building, but nothing directly happening. And now we're going to get into Wednesday. We're going to get into the 29th. And of course, we got to have something that happens in the middle of the night, because why not? That's all we do lately. The last few weeks, I swear, a lot of our transits have happened in the middle of the night. So here we go. Between 2:30 and 5 a.m. Central Standard Time, the moon in Aquarius is going to make a square to Mercury. Do I have everything ready? Is there anything else I needed to do? Did I finish that project? Did I finish the situation? Is there something else that needs to be adjusted? Where else do I need to work at the documents? What else do I need to finalize? We're getting so much closer to the date, whatever the date is for you. That's the human effect, the reason I'm saying it that way. Questioning to question. Now, remember, Mercury and Venus are in mutual reception. So anything that impacts Mercury impacts Venus. Anything that impacts Venus also impacts Mercury. So whatever we are changing has long-term effects. And I've said that for a while. And now that we're in the Gemini transits, those long-term effects are amplifying. The frequency is changing. We just had a Venus-Jupiter conjunction before Venus changed signs. We just had Venus's trine to Pluto, something that allows us to move forward and to help us get over the fear, get over the past, get over the trauma. And even though we are working towards like this rebirthing energy with the Sun-Venus conjunction, there's something here with the moon square to Mercury that is questioning. What do we have left? Are you going to sign? Are you going to come? Are you going to stay? Are you committed? Are you going to do this? What are you thinking now? And there's a lot more energy to Wednesday compared to Tuesday. Like Tuesday was kind of a rolling with the day. And the thing is, for a lot of people, Tuesday's energy coming off of a 3-day weekend, some people are just not going to be clicking. They're like, oh my God, why do I feel so weird? It's because there's not a whole lot to make us click in. Wednesday's not going to be the case. There's going to be a lot of clicking. Some of us are going to wake up early in the morning questioning ourselves. What do I have to do? Am I ready? Is it time? We're going to make this happen. Is he actually going to sign? There's something here about just like a questioning. For some people, it will be physical questioning of another person, asking us questions, looking for guidance, needing approval. For other people, it's all internal. This is actually going to happen. And it's a little bit different for everybody. Now, I do like the energy of Wednesday, and I feel like we get some things accomplished, especially when we get into what's going to perfect between 5 and 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So please notice I'm doing a little bit wider on the blocks whenever it comes to some of these transits on Wednesday. Between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., the moon in this fixed air sign is going to sextile Mars. Yeah, we're going to get this done. Yeah, this is going to happen today. Yeah, we're going to get it fixed. Fixed. The actions are going to lead to something being fixed. It's going to be healed. It's going to be overcome. Some of the conversations might reactivate a wound. Let's be clear about that, playing devil's advocate, but not everybody's going to be reactivating a wound whenever it comes to Wednesday. It doesn't have to feel that way. For some people it will, for other people it's not so much. The reason I'm bringing up the wound is because between 5:30 and 7:30, so this is happening simultaneously, the moon is making the sextile to Chiron because the Mars-Chiron conjunction is building all morning. Remember I said we have things building, but nothing exact. On Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, we have things building, but nothing was quite exact. We're getting into something exact. We have an idea of how we can fix the situation, how we can overcome the trauma, how we can reset the bone. And there can be something here where we are talking about actions to heal, reactions that create new wounds. Some of those wounds might be necessary, some of them not so much. Depends on how much people are leading with their ego. And there can be some people that are leading with their ego early in the morning on Wednesday. Some part of us feels insulted. We don't necessarily all want to understand. And any conversation you can be having with somebody first thing in the morning, they don't necessarily all understand. But actions and wounds are a big part of the energy as we go through Wednesday morning. Okay. Right after the moon makes this sextile to Mars and Chiron, the moon is going to square Uranus. Now, remember, the moon is in Aquarius. It's in Uranus's sign. And now it's making that aspect to Uranus. So for some people, this is going to feel like the go-ahead to break away from something, to end something, to be more independent. This is happening while Mars and Chiron are starting to hit their conjunction. For some people, that resetting of the wound or the reviewing of the wound is going to lead to independence. For some people, the resetting of the wound is going to be unexpected. What do you mean you got to re-break my nose? What? That's always the one I think of. Some people, they have to either re-break their foot or re-break their nose. But considering we don't have anything really aspecting Jupiter or Neptune, I'm going to go with head stuff, and we're going to talk about the nose. What do you mean you have to re-break my nose? You have to redo this to make it set right. It didn't heal right. And there can be unexpected news that comes through based off of what's being fixed, based off of the wound, based off of the actions that we are taking. Some people might get very unexpected news and unexpected results whenever the moon hits that square to Uranus. For some people, that unexpectedness won't be in physical person, it's going to be online because Uranus has that technology feel to it. You see that breaking news situation, that odd little TikTok is like, why does that hurt so deep? Why does that remind me of him? Why does that remind me of her? Oh, I don't like that. I don't need that trigger. Sometimes you do. Sometimes we have to reopen the wound. Some people, that wound got reopened last week. Other people, you're going to see another part of that wound this week, and you need to be prepared for that. And whatever sets in after the Moon Uranus square and the Mars Chiron conjunction. And to be clear, the Mars Chiron conjunction happens between 11:45 and 12:16 a.m. So we're not even quite there at this moment, but you can see how close they are. Whatever happens in this energy, this sets the energy for the rest of the day. Because after the moon square to Uranus, the moon goes void. So whatever is happening in the first part of Wednesday, that's setting the mood. And for some people, they're going to feel liberated. They're going to feel excited. They're going to feel like something's finally going to get better. Other people are going to be pissed. They're going to break my nose. I don't want to do another broken nose. I don't want to do this. I don't want to take this action. And some people might be a little, pissed off and just kind of mad at the air. But we're at the start of a healing process in a lot of ways. So guess what? Re-break your nose. That's what we're doing. That's going to be my example for a little bit. Okay. Moving us along. Again, after the moon square with Uranus, the moon's going to go void. Mars's conjunction to Chiron happens midday. And then at 7:33 p.m. Central Standard Time, the moon will go from Aquarius and into Pisces. And as soon as the moon goes into Pisces, it immediately starts a square to Jupiter. Now, this square is going to happen between 8:30 and 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. What news, what long-term decision, what situation kind of set the stage for the day? Because it's going to set the stage for whatever emotional processing is going to come through right here. And why are we feeling this way? Why is it bothering you? Why do you feel so much better? Some of you are not going to be needing a why. You're just going to be emotionally clearing. There'll be a shift in that hopefulness, a shift in the direction, a shift in the arena, a shift in the energy. We're getting more knowledge. We're talking about more. The frequency is changing. Emotional release. Let me slam my book around a little bit. Sorry. Emotional release. Hopefulness. Healing. The deep-seated crevices. All the bottom of the ocean that just got stirred up. Raw emotion. Some people will be dealing with raw emotion and they will not be able to stay quiet about it whenever we go through Wednesday evening. The moon square to Jupiter again happens between 8:30 and 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we're right at the start of it right here. And I do feel like whatever happened throughout the day for a lot of people is going to set the stage for this evening. I do feel like some people will finally have the ability to voice some part of their healing process that they did not have the voice for before. They're going to be able to talk about the lesson, talk about certain things, allow those things to pour. And there can be a lot of tears this time around as the moon goes through Pisces. Be aware of that. Okay. After the moon goes into Pisces and after that square to Jupiter, it's not that the moon's going to go void. It's just like there's not a whole lot going on. So that kind of sets the stage. There's a lot of energy to Wednesday that it feels like whatever happens on Wednesday is setting the stage for the other things that are happening. It's setting the stage for how we're going to heal the wound, the actions that we're taking, or some unexpected news that's going to come through over the next few days that will follow. Okay. We're getting into the 30th now. We're going to get this to first thing in the morning. And between 8 and 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, the moon is going to square Venus. So you can see this. I got this 9:30. Here's the moon, 8 degrees, 10 minutes. Here is Venus, 8 degrees, 17 minutes. So they're just about to hit their perfection. And again, whatever impacts Venus impacts Mercury. Whatever impacts Mercury impacts Venus. This one's interesting to me because you can see the Venus and the sun are getting really close to each other. Add a layer to that. Let's add a bit of a layer to that. Mercury is getting close to Uranus. Now, this does not go exact on the 30th. It goes exact on the 31st. So I'm going to say this on both days. There is something about whatever is coming to light right here, whatever is coming to the surface, whatever is being spoken about, for a lot of people, this is the next round of energy to whatever happened in the new moon in Taurus. This is the next round of energy to whatever happened in the Sun-Uranus conjunction. So this is all middle of May stuff. And for other people, it's the next round of whatever happened in the Venus-Uranus conjunction. So we're talking things that happened all the way back to like May 5th to May 18th. What happened in those that 2-week span? Wasn't even May 5th, but still, that's the 2-week span that I'm picking up on. May 5th to May 18th. What happened in those few weeks? What came to light? What connections were made? What commitmentship? Sure, there you go. We're making up words today. What commitments? What partnerships? What did we sign? Where did we make commitments in that time span? Because I do feel like the next half, the next layer, the next round of whatever goes back to back then is a part of the energy between Thursday and Friday. So you'll hear me say that again. Here's the moon square to Venus. Mercury's building up to its conjunction to Uranus. There is going to be news. There's going to be decisions that are starting to come together that we won't fully debut in a lot of ways. We're not going to fully talk to other people about. We're not going to fully showcase to other people until like later. I'm not going to fully announce it until later. We're in this weird middle ground of like connecting a past situation with something that's about to get debuted. It's about to happen. We're in the next round. We're in the next level. Okay. Between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., the moon is going to square the sun. Here is our last quarter moon. Anytime we go through the last quarter moon, a lot of the energy starts to wind down. The dynamic is not as negatively impactful. We're getting closer to solutions. We're getting something closer to getting rebirthed and starting over. We're getting closer to something. And whatever is going to get revealed soon, not this week, it is going to have a new look, a new aesthetic, a new value for us. And we're building to that in this energy. And we can have something come through somewhere between the moon square to Venus and the moon square to the sun, which you can see right here, that is allowing us to know something is depressurizing, that something is going to get better, that something is going to change, that something is going to get revealed. Now, after the sun square, the moon square the sun right here, there's no more direct transits to Thursday. So I'm speaking again that we have a lot of things, we have things building. Not everything is happening all at once. We're going to be feeling a lot of that building energy. For some of us, whatever is building, again, has to do with that recent wound. And some of us are just going to be trying to emotionally process whatever wounds have been dealt, have been reopened, have been reset. Okay, we're going to get into the 31st. And the first thing that's going to happen right after midnight, between 12:44 a.m. and 12:56 a.m. Central Standard Time, this is when Mercury and Uranus's conjunction hits exact. We were building through this all day on Thursday. It goes exact on Friday. The human effect for a lot of us, there will be some unexpected connection, unexpected communication based off of the prior events. Most of us, it's going to be the prior events that are going to come through somewhere between Thursday and Friday. So what again does Taurus and Gemini rule in your chart? Because that's important. Now, I'm going to add a layer to this. I'm going to bump the chart a little bit more because I feel like this is still feeding into a lot of this energy, especially when we get into that 2:30 to 4:30 time span. So here we go. Mercury and Uranus conjunction, unexpected news, unexpected communication, unexpected arrivals, unexpected needs to travel, unexpected breaks in technology, breakthroughs in technology, unexpected technological conversations. There you go. Was not expecting this person in my DMs. I have you blocked on 50,000 apps, but you want to keep making new profiles. Why are you bothering me? The moon is going to make a conjunction to Saturn. There's a level of responsibility. There's a level of timeliness. There's a level of karma in the unexpected communication. There's a meeting with the elder, a meeting with the boss, a meeting with authority figures. Some of us are going to be having lawyer appointments somewhere between Thursday and Friday. Acceptance of responsibility, acceptance of the terms, acceptance of something that's going to finally allow for things to close out for some, for things to get off the ground for others, a recognition in some sort. That unexpected news can have to do with an elder. Did we have medical things recently? The unexpected results. The reason I keep on saying unexpected is because Uranus is here. And very, very seldom is Uranus's energy included with something traditional and planned. No, it's unexpected. For some people, it's an exciting acceptance of responsibility, an exciting time to announce a role, to announce a promotion. Some people, you've been going through everything behind the scenes, but the thing is, you haven't showcased it to people yet. You haven't put that on your social media. Some people, as soon as you get that change in your life, you immediately go to social media like, look, I'm engaged. When did that happen? 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago. Other people, oh my God, I didn't even know you were seeing anybody. And now you're in a committed relationship? Yeah, my life is private. Get over it. What I do in my life has nothing to do with you. And I'm in a committed relationship. I'm just letting people know that just to keep them out of my DMs. That's what. So for some people, it can be exciting communication and exciting acceptance of responsibility, exciting things, but unexpected things, somewhere between Thursday and Friday. Okay. Oh, the moon's conjunction to Saturn, 2:30 to 4:30 a.m. The moon's sextile to Uranus is going to happen between 11:30 and 1:30 p.m. So this is just like those next rounds. Every time you have something new change, something unexpected changing, you tell it to somebody else. Somebody else has something to say. At the next round of it, like, oh, little dude's going to go stay with his dad for the weekend. He hasn't stayed with his dad in forever. I know. But his dad wants to step up, and it seems really unexpected. He's proven that it's worth giving him time with his son, giving his time with his daughter. We've had some type of revelation. We've had something unexpectedly change. So I'm giving it a shot. I'm trusting. I'm believing the universe is leading me in the right direction. The moon's sextile to Mercury is going to happen between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. Again, that next round, the next layer, the next part of the communication, the next part of the travel, the next part of the destination, the next part of the plan, voicing more of the plan, emotionally celebrating what has just changed, what is in the process of getting debuted, what is in the process of happening, but not necessarily happening in the moment. We're in the process of something, and we get that next round. We're telling somebody else about it. Hey, he finally signed. Hey, she's finally leaving. Hey, it's finally happening. Hey, we finally got the results. That type of thing. Okay. I feel like everything throughout the day on Friday is just the layers of whatever the Mercury Uranus conjunction is. And again, Mercury Uranus can happen anywhere between Thursday and Friday. Those are the 2 days that you're going to feel it the most exact. And we get into the evening time, we get the moon's conjunction to Neptune. Now, this is going to happen the most between 9 and 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. For some people, this is going to be something very illuminating and very spiritual, very woo-woo, a coming together of woo-woo type things. That's why I'm saying it that way. A coming together of inspiration and imagination. For some people, there's going to be this last layer of relief given everything throughout the week. For some people, this is going to be the final like addressing of all of the confusion, because let's say some of this isn't coming through as a positive for you. Some of it's coming through as a negative. Like suddenly 5-10 employees have walked out the door. You get to the end of the day going, I have no idea how I'm going to run my business next week. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle it. I don't know what's going on. And sometimes we have to accept that confusion before we can take any type of action. We have to come out of the clouds before we can take any kind of action. For some people, there's a lot of nostalgia with the moon hitting that conjunction to Neptune. We want to sit there and we want to watch all the Disney movies because let's say like kiddos are finally spending time with their parents, their extra parent, their other parent, I shouldn't say extra, my bad. Or their grandparent for the first time is like, what do you want to watch? I haven't seen this before. And we're getting amazed. I want to watch this with you. And we get this other element of energy that for some people it's confusion, but for other people it's hopeful and enlightening. I want to try this. I've never experienced this before. That type of thing. At 10:29 p.m. Central Standard Time, the moon goes into Aries. And there can be some excitement. There can be some actions that follow, like, I've never done this before, some reactions, not necessarily having to be a negative thing. If it is a negative thing, I don't like that idea for people that are trying like certain substances for the first time, because with the reaction that can come through can be something that can be very, very unplanned. And this is a Friday night. Oh, I've never tried this liquor before. You know, sometimes you try that one liquor and you have no idea how it's going to impact you. For some people, it makes you instantly sick. For other people, it makes you feel like you're the Hulk. You might be a little bit more susceptible to trying to turn into the Hulk. Let's be clear about that. So maybe not go crazy on trying the new substances on Friday night, just to be clear. You do what you want to do in your nightlife. I'm just giving you the warnings. Anyways, and then after the moon goes into Aries, we're going to start to get into Saturday. Now, between midnight and 2 a.m., the moon is going to sextile Jupiter. If you do try something fun, if you do go do something you've never done before, it might quickly come together like you really enjoy it, that it's really hopeful. You're telling everybody, I've never done this before, but I'm so glad I did it for the first time, that type of thing. Others, it might be that confirmation, like, yeah, you don't need to drink Jaeger. It's gross. Don't do that. And it's even more gross sometimes when those things come back up, like that type of reaction. Like, I've never had this happen before. For other people, the reaction, again, is like the reaction of how the next form of the healing happens. The reaction of what we're overcoming and what we're getting over and what we're going to do next that he finally signed those papers. Are you posting it on social media? Maybe. Probably not. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are going to be holding off before they make certain announcements right now. There's so much about the process. Some people were having a late night Friday going into Saturday. Other people, it's great. We're reacting more to what we're healing. We're reacting more to the lessons. We're reacting more and taking certain actions based off of what the doctor, the guru, or whoever told us to do. We're acting upon the recent guidance of something. And some people will be getting instant feedback. Some people not so much. Okay. Between 4 and 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, the moon is going to sextile Venus. So here is the moon Oh, I said AM. It's PM. I don't know why I said that. Keep going. We're getting to the evening time. Okay. So between 4 and 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, the moon is going to sextile Venus. And if you notice, Venus and the sun, they're getting way closer. Now I feel like once we get into June, now I feel like more people are going to be revealing some things, talking about what has changed. And that can start to come through the first. I feel like as we get closer to the 4th, which does not happen this week, that's when more things will come to light, the 4th through the 6th. But the lingering effect is some people are going to be so happy and reactionary, they're going to say it on the 1st. And this can kind of come through that. The moon is going to sextile Venus. It's going to sextile the sun. We're getting closer to something coming to light. We're getting something closer to getting revealed. Between 5:30 and 7:30, that's when the moon is also going to sextile the sun. So these are happening in a very simultaneous way. You might just be talking to somebody about something that you're about to reveal. You might be celebrating something that you're about to reveal. For some people, you are doing the revelation. And we're acting on something, or we're reacting to something, and we're allowing certain things to come to light, to get revealed. We're seeing how something is physically changing, aesthetically changing. We're taking certain actions to aesthetically change something, to physically change something. It's Saturday evening. Hey, girl, you want to come over and help me dye my hair pink? Isn't your hair black? Yeah, that's why I need the help, because this is going to be a lot of bleach. My hair's not black, but still. This type of thing. Actions towards something that's going to get revealed, to something that is aesthetically changing. Can you help me come? Can you come over and help me like move all my old furniture out? I'm getting new furniture and I'm ready to get rid of this stuff. Can you help me do this type of thing? Can you help me with this action? Take this action, this type of thing. It doesn't have to be heavy. I really feel like next weekend's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people. The negative sense of the sun Venus conjunction right here with the moon and the sextile is like some people can be getting together and they don't want people to know that they're getting together right now. And that sextile could be like, I saw so-and-so hanging out with, Bob and Sally are over here. Tom and Jerry are over here. Did you know? I think I saw them together. And that can be another thing that starts to come through. Be aware for that too. Okay. Between 9 and 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, the moon is going to hit the conjunction to the North Node. Given that during the full moon in Sagittarius, we had just had a Mars North Node conjunction, think back to whatever was going on during that full moon in Sagittarius that happened last week, because some element of that can be coming back through energetically. This is more internal stuff right here, where we feel accomplished, where we feel a motivation, we are feeling something internally check in, and it's giving us hope. It's giving us clarity. It's clicking in some way. There's a click in the energy whenever we're going through something right here, but it's internalized energy. If you have placements here, that's different. But I feel like for a lot of people, it's going to be internalized energy, serving the mind, serving the ego, feeling something up here is finally going to go a certain way, feeling like we have to take a certain action, something in our mind coming through, like feeling very hyper determined and very, very motivated to do something, feeling like something is meant to go a certain way. Because again, we have so many things building and getting ready to be revealed. So for a lot of people, this is going to be, inflating that ego a little bit. For other people, it's going to very much like confirm things that we have been mentally desiring for a while. Okay. We're going to get into Sunday, and the moon's going to be in Aries all day. Get this to right here. Between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, the moon is going to make its conjunction to Chiron. So you see the moon, 22 degrees. Here's Chiron, 2220. They're right on top of each other. We're getting really close to their conjunction right here. Seeing the fix, seeing the wound, seeing the rebroken nose. talking about how we fix something, talking about how we move forward, talking about what's getting debuted, what's getting revealed, what's about to come to light. There's a lot of like in motion energy right here. Like things are in motion. Talking about how much better we feel that now this is moving forward. Now this is going ahead. Now this is being seen. Now this is being recognized. Conversations about the wound right here. Seeing somebody being wounded or in a bad place can also happen right here. If you see somebody in a negative place, I don't like that with the moon in Aries because we can quickly become very reactive, especially as the day progresses. Because between 4 and 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, the moon is going to make a conjunction to Mars in Mars's sign. This can be very disruptive. Again, we can catch somebody in an act. Venus and the sun are getting closer to their conjunction. It's not exact yet, but we have more things coming to light. We have more things that are getting debuted, more things getting revealed. And what's interesting about Sunday is like, this is Mercury's last full day in Taurus. So whatever can be getting revealed, whatever actions can be getting done, whatever we're stumbling upon, whatever we are reacting to, whatever disruptions are there, whatever we're arguing about, we might be arguing for the last time. You just caught somebody being hurt, moon conjunct Chiron. Later on, you could be exactly that, addressing it, going, don't ever touch this person again. Don't go near my person again. Stay away from my brother. Stay away from my sister. Stay away from my friend. I don't ever want to see you again. And there can be some type of energy of like more tension the closer we get to the moon Mars conjunction. And given that the sun Venus is coming together, Mercury's at that final anaretic degree of Taurus, we're getting closer to something being settled. We're getting something closer to something getting removed. And again, moving towards that long-term healing. And given the fact that as we progress throughout the day, Jupiter will finally perfect its trine with Pluto. This is building all day. Jupiter's exact trine with Pluto will happen between 7:08 and 8:50 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you can see Pluto 1 degree 53 minutes. Here's Jupiter 1 degree 53 minutes. Whatever we are working towards, whatever we are debuting, whatever is in motion, whatever we are reacting to, is how we're going to heal the wound. It is how we are working past the trauma. It is how we are finally closing something out. It is finally getting those signatures. It is finally moving in a certain direction. When we get to the end of Sunday, there is something very much in motion. Not everything is going to come to light over Saturday and Sunday. This is going to carry into next week. The Sun-Venus conjunction does not happen until the 4th. When we get to this part of the day, whenever Jupiter is in this exact trine with Pluto, this is when Mercury is entering its sextile to Neptune, but this doesn't go exact until the 3rd. So we have so much of this energy that is like a continuous flow of what has occurred and where it's taking us, what's about to come to light. We're building into something that is going to have an aesthetically pleasing, financially revealing, rebirthing, a change in our diet, a change in our body, a change in our mindset. There's something that is changing. It is shifting, and we are mid-motion, starting the week and ending the week. We're in the middle of a flow. And I think all of this week is a part of motion. All of this week is taking things to the next level. It's finalizing negotiations. It's putting the word out there. It's putting something together. It's taking us in a specific direction. We are meant to be full steam ahead. And so much of what is happening here has a communication vibe to it. has words that are being spoken. It is things that are being finalized. There are things in progress. We're wrapping up whatever completion was triggered in the full moon. If something fully completed in the full moon, then we're taking that energy and we're running with it. And whatever we're running with this week is a part of the motion. It is a part of the reaction. It's part of the turnout. It's part of the solution. There is a momentum all throughout the week that's going to take us into, again, the first full 2 weeks of June. Because new things are going to come to light. New things are going to get revealed. And new things are going to get debuted once we get more into June. Venus rules beauty, food, the things that bring us pleasure, poetry. There's a monetary value to Venus, aesthetically pleasing. Venus also has to do with the sexual organs. There's a desire to Venus, but her desire is not like Mars's desire. Mars's desire is determination. Venus is alluring. There's an allurement in the energy. There's a calling in the energy. This desire that we wish to happen, that we're not forcing to happen, that we're not determined to make it happen. We're watching something unfold. All of this week is a momentum to something that is about to unfold. And the human effect is, for some people, it will start to unfold June 1st and June 2nd. More people, it's going to happen somewhere between the 3rd and the 7th, and that's next week. So understand that there is a momentum. We are taking steps. We are going in a direction. We are following a path. This path is going to have something coming to light. It is going to have something debut. It is going to have something be seen differently, be recognized differently as we progress into June. I like this week. There's a lot of healing to this week. There's a lot of overcoming to this week. There's a lot of adjustments and changes to this week. And we have transits, we have bigger transits, but they all seem to be feeding into one another, feeding into an effect, feeding through how we are going into something else. They are all a part of the forward motion. And there's so much of this week where we are starting to, again, voice what has occurred, talk about the solution, talk about the outcome, talk about where we're going next. And a lot of what needs to be spoken, the word that is being spread, the voices that are being found and heard and used finally. For some of you, it's a lot of finally. It will not be a one and done conversation. It is spreading the knowledge, spreading the word, sharing the guidance, sharing the lessons, sharing the information over and over and over again until it no longer bothers you anymore. Okay. I hope this is helpful. I hope everybody has a great week. I can't wait to hear from everybody in regards to like what's going on. If you want to take a part of the monthly special, just DM me. If you're wanting to book your first reading, again, DM me. All of my contact information is in the description of every single episode. So, okay. I'll talk to everybody very, very soon. Subscribe.